This is Indo, a street artist whose signature style is graffiti.
Sorry, government, I've been graffitiing your property.
Why graffiti?
Because there's no rules. There's no rules. You can do it whenever you want. There's no rules. There's no, there's no critics, there's no structure. It's just free. It's free, complete expression.
Tucked away in his garage on Sydney's northern beaches, Indo surrounds himself with works in progress, finished pieces, and hundreds of spray cans in every colour. It's here in this makeshift studio that Indo creates art before taking it to the street. Indo isn't this artist's real name. While he's willing to go on camera, Indo chooses not to share his full identity because graffiti vandalism is a crime in New South Wales, punishable by fines of up to $2,200 and prison sentences up to 5 years for maliciously damaging property. However, Indo argues that he's a street artist and not a vandal.
Graffiti is tagging, just fucking stupid words, random shit. On people's property. That's fucked. That's fucked. You don't do that. If it's a word that's just with one colour and it's in the wrong place and there's no, if you don't get anything from it, then that's graffiti. If you see the picture and it might say a word, but there's a really clever image in there that strikes you, that's art.
The New South Wales government disagrees. Under the 2008 Graffiti Control Act, a graffiti-related offence includes marking or defacing property, posting bills, and possession of graffiti implements, including spray paint and marker pens. Types of graffiti include tagging, etching, and murals, which are a popular medium of expression for street artists. A recent survey conducted by the Australian Bureau of Statistics shows that 21% of respondents in New South Wales believe graffiti represents a social disorder problem in their local area. A total of 95,000 incidents in New South Wales were reported by police between 2002 and 2011, with Sydney ranking 6th on the list of local government areas affected the most. In response to these statistics, the New South Wales government partnered with Rotary to establish a statewide Graffiti Prevention and Removal Day. Graffiti Removal Day strives to highlight the problem of graffiti and encourage people to volunteer their time to remove and prevent it. This year, 1,500 volunteers participated at 300 cleanup sites across New South Wales. Mayor of Strathfield, Julian Vicari, joined Scouts Australia, Girl Guides and the New South Wales Police in the cleanup.
Graffiti is a blight on the community, so at a local government level our residents have an expectation that councils will get in there and do the best they can to negate graffiti, and that's what Graffiti Removal Day is all about. It's also an opportunity though to, more importantly, to build community, to get people out together to chat, talk, share.
Indo believes removing graffiti isn't the way to deal with street artists and vandals.
It would be a great idea to collaborate with the artists who actually are doing good work. They need to spend less money on graffiti removal and more money on actual studying the demographic, who the graffiti artists are, separate them from graffiti to street art, and then, come up with a strategy, come up with an idea of how to, work together, because this shit's not going to ever change. This is going to go on forever.
Marrickville Council is one of the few councils in New South Wales working with local artists to combat graffiti vandalism. Arts and Cultural Development Coordinator Victoria Johnston explains how.
Well, Perfect Match program is part of Marrickville Council's initiatives to prevent antisocial behaviour and in particular unwanted graffiti through encouraging and fostering creativity and legitimate forms of social behaviour.
The council played Cupid between artists and property owners who wanted to embrace street artists and their work.
The works were installed 6 months ago, all on walls that were tagged daily. A lot of these people had been constantly painting their walls to omit graffiti, and what has happened is not one of the walls, we did 15 sites across the local government area, and not one of those walls has been tagged.
While street art has combated vandalism in Marrickville Council, Julian Vicari believes Strathfield Council will benefit from other alternatives.
There's a theory about graffiti removal that if you target the graffiti quickly and you keep targeting the same graffiti, eventually the graffiti artists drop off.
Victoria disagrees.
My view is, personally, I'm a resident and I would rather have my ratepayer money going towards creativity and paying artists rather than paying for chemicals and street removal teams to go and just wash it off walls. I think the model of perfect match whereby property owners collaborate with artists, it comes from the community, it comes grassroots, and it breaks down a lot of the myths about street art.
The removal and prevention of graffiti costs the New South Wales government tens of millions of dollars annually, and many street artists lose their work in the process. While some councils believe that removing graffiti is best, street artists like Indo are used to the short lifespan of their work and aren't bothered by the removal of it.
Yeah, sometimes it does, because I think, what the fuck am I doing this for? But then I realise that I'm doing it for me, so it doesn't bother me.